What's up, fellas? So, figured I'd give you a little update on the Trooper car. I was waiting. I had bought this thing. It's called a dimple die, and it goes. You can use it for like a hole like this. You put this in one side and put this on the other, and it squeezes the metal together, kind of like this here. This one here, I could get in, and it just puts a little lip on the back side of it, so you can get a little more rigidity to the piece of sheet metal. The reason I had to wait is when I got it, it was like 2.5 inches around, and I was like, there's no way I can use that, to go up against some of these spots to get into. So I took it to a guy at our machine shop, and he was able to turn it down, but it took a while because they had one lathe that was not operational, and it's the big lathe that turns heavy duty stuff, and this stuff he figured it was like rated for 70 Rockwell. It was really hard, so they needed their liquid cooled lathe to turn this down, and it took them a really long time, but he did get it done, and I was able to use it, just not in all the places I wanted to, but it was for 40 bucks. But I think, knowing what I know now, I'd have used maybe like a smaller hole, like, because this is 1.25, and then so I could add more holes. But then I could have got I could have used a smaller die. Could probably use it in more places, and it was just for the point of, if you put holes in there, you're gonna take some of the structural integrity out, and putting the lip around it makes it stronger. When I first cut holes in there, this thing was in a dumpster at work. They were going to chuck it, so I thought I'd use that, but all it did was just like cave in the whole thing, so it didn't work out. So then I saw these on eBay, and it was like $40, so I said, well, I'll take a chance on that to see how it works. And it works really good once you can get it in, if you can maneuver it into the spot, like across the back of the channel behind the seat, where the seat would go. It doesn't fit in that channel, and the same with the one across the top. So, but it will fit into most of the holes over there where the seat belt brace is at. I wanted to really put it in here on these holes, but there's just no way to get it in there. So I used it where I could, and then I was kind of on hold for paint because I wanted to do this first before I did any painting. So now that I got that out of the way, I can go ahead and start prepping for the paint, and once I get it painted, then I can start putting things back together. Although I have deviated. This is a dowel that I took. This was where the spotlight was, when the car was a Trooper car back in the day. And it had a crack around here, so what I did was took it out, and it turns out they just put Bondo in the hole. That was it. Kind of like what they did on the roof. There was several holes in the roof, and then back here, and all they did was just put Bondo in it. And this has got pretty good amount of Bondo around it, so I'm gonna fill it in with metal as best I can, and then weld this dowel in here, just kind of get her tacked in real good. Cut it off, of course, obviously, but I was just looking at figured you all get a kick out of that. On the back side, I got that ready to weld, and this is all ready to paint. I started taking a window tint off because it was really sketchy window tint, and it's starting to come off anyway. Then I started thinking, well, maybe I could just paint the whole car while it's in here and apart, and just do like one body panel, because my little air compressor can't keep up to paint like a whole car in one shot, and at least look better. It'll be one color. So that's kind of what I'm preparing to do, although I might do the Florida Highway Patrol cars were black in the front along the sides, and the very back on the top was the cream color that I was telling you about. So I might kind of do the opposite, where the whole car will be cream except for the back, and the roof will be black, like a flat black, to not show so many dents that are all up on the roof. And I also got this trunk. This is a trunk lid I got from Roger. I'd mentioned where I put a little spoiler lip on it because I thought it looked cool, and mostly an experiment to see how feasible it was. And it's feasible. It's not. I don't know how it's going to look with paint on it, but we'll see. So that's what I've been busy with. I didn't work on it last week. I was up in Warner Robins, Georgia for a week for a conference up there. But now I'm back and I'm getting after it. And like I said, hopefully, if the weather cooperates, I'll get some paint on it this weekend. And we can start putting it back together. So that's where it's at. And we'll give you another update the weekend after next, or sometime next week, depending on how much progress I can make. All right, appreciate y'all. Later.